What is happening, folks? It is time for the Forge. You got myself, Jimmy G here, Billy the Kid's here. Our special guest today is here with us. But Billy, I'll let you say hello and introduce our special guest for tonight.
What's up, folks? Billy the Kid here with Jimmy G and Razyel Kayne, and we are about to talk about voice actors, the community, the greatest thing that keeps our minds going. I love voice acting, but we're also going to talk about some news. But before we do all that, Raz, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers so they can get to know who you are?
So, hi, my name is Razyel Kayne. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I have a Discord and a StreamYard, not StreamYard, Steam account. That it's all under that name. Pretty much anything. If I order from, you know, any store, it's always Razyel Kayne. So yeah, that's where you can find me. So I do voice actor spotlight. I did a few voice actor interviews, and I do tour reviews as well. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
And this
We
is
are
me in a
super
nutshell.
happy to have you here. We are super excited for the show. Uh, Energy is going to be all over the place, though, because I've been working in the sun all day. So don't take me wrong tonight.
Absolutely. So, Raz, before we get started in the news and stuff like that, how did you get started with your channel, if you don't mind me asking?
COVID hit, and no, it's not exactly that. I started watching Rodimus Primal when, way back when he started. And one day he did a stream with Patriot Prime and Kato, their very first one. Um, and well, together. And I started following Kato. And then I started after that, I followed Patriot Prime. And then he knew Tabby and Deluxe Baldwin. And so that's the people, Bird the Stormtrooper. So that's the crew I was watching. But I was Kato, I watched everything. Like I went back to his first video and watched
Oh, wow.
everything to support him. And I commented and he replied. So we interacted a lot through comments. And then eventually I wanted to do YouTube, do something, but I didn't want to do, at first, I didn't want to do tour reviews because I wasn't a collector per se. I had a few, but, not many. And I just was looking for something to talk about, to do something different. But I did comment that I was thinking about it, and then Kato said, "Well, if you're going to um, do it, let me know. I'll watch it." So I'm like, "Well, if he's interested, maybe other people might." And then the War for Cybertron show came up,
Yeah.
and they had terrible voice acting, and
Yeah.
I wanted to. That's what gave me the idea to do a voice actor related channel for Transformers because that's what liked and knew. So I did the voice acting stuff, and basically it was I'm trying to show you the good stuff that G1 was, um, because well the voice acting for most of War for Cybertron was pretty bad, and then mainly because Optimus kept talking the whole time, and the guy doing him wasn't an actor. He was an impersonator that they found on Vine, who did a
Really?
great. Oh yeah, Jake Fushi is not an actor. He was doing impressions, and he was actually really good at it, and he could do good impressions of Peter Cullen doing Optimus Prime. But he's not an actor and can't act. So when he started trying to emote, he sounded like Batman, Christian Bale Batman, or other, like he just didn't have it. And that's the I'll that's why I started my YouTube. Was because of that terrible job. And I think also I don't want to blame him more than the voice director should have
Well,
been and said, okay, we need somebody else.
I'm going to jump in real quick on that because I'm friends with some of the people from that show. And, that was all recorded during the COVID time. And these voice actors who usually are used to being in a studio together and feeding off of each other, they had to record their lines at home and then send them in to the voice director. So you don't have that raw emotion that you had in Gen 1 or in Beast Wars, where everybody's sitting in the studio together.
Yeah,
And
but they stopped doing ensemble cast like a long time ago. If you even if you know going more than 10 years ago, you would go on like a Zoom meeting or something like that and record with the voice director who would, I guess I'm thinking give you notes, give you directions or something like that. So because I just 2 weeks ago I spoke with Travis Arts, who was Hot Rod in Cyberverse, and I interviewed Jessica Di Giovanni last weekend. She was RC on the War for Cybertron show, and of Windblade on Cyberverse, and they both had a similar process happening when they recorded for Cyberverse, where it was they had three people basically on a phone call or a like this maybe,
yep,
and they would record their lines, but they had no idea, they couldn't bounce off somebody else, but at least you had somebody there to say, okay, this is not good, try it this way, or let's
yeah.
Yeah.
do make a different choice for that line.
And
I'm
I would definitely put more of it on the director. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Part of the responsibility is on that. But then after that, Jake got hired. Before that, I think he did Optimus in Cyberverse as well. And you know what? Optimus didn't talk that much in that one, but when he spoke, he was more of a calm character, and Jake was able to do a good impression of Cullen at that time. But when it came to War for Cybertron, I think they basically a phrase I like to use is they set him up for failure.
Yeah, they put too much on him.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you don't have experience. We're gonna make you read these like super long script. So, but to this day, I'll say he's not an actor and he should not have been put in that situation.
Yeah.
So that's
True.
why I decided to show what was good voice acting, good acting, and also a good director, Wally Burr, who
Yeah,
is legendary in this community now.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so that's how it got started. But eventually, um, I did Cato present where he was. Did you break anything expensive right now, Jimmy? Or
I'm breaking everything. Oh, it was my
okay,
it's my Hulk. So
okay, he's big. He's tough. He's gonna survive.
he'll be fine.
Yeah. So anyway, I was on Cato Present and he was like, "Ah, you should do more. You should, I think you should do tour review and stuff like that." So I'm like, "All right, I'll give it a shot. I'll so I started doing it, and I had some stupid gimmick at the beginning that, I had the French word of the day in my reviews. I had the I was pretending to do transformation and basically just, all right, you're going to fold this and then it's done. But eventually I just got rid of all that gimmicky stuff, and just, this is the review. And sometimes I'll transform the robot like this guy. I did a step-by-step transformation on the new age Sunstreaker, but usually I don't do transformation on screens because I'll always mess up something. And you know the camera adds 10 pounds, but it also adds 10 steps to a
Yeah.
transformation.
It does.
So
There's
yeah.
so many other people that do it so much better.
So, yep, that's why I don't
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. Like you have Deluxe, who does a great. Jason is really good at it too. So it's no biggie.
That's it.
No.
So
We
yeah,
got some action in the chat. So Billy, if you want to kind of
Yes, we
rattle
had a
off.
bunch of people say hello. It's really a lot. Strider 4 was the first one here tonight. Strider said hello. Hello, Strider. Zane Bono's here. Zane's the best. Zane's here every week since day one. Always nice to have Zane in. Larry Zeno says, yo, bro. What is up, Larry? Catherine Moreau says
that's my
hello.
wife.
That's your wife.
That's my
Uh-oh.
wife.
My wife's watching. I don't think she's commenting, though.
She'll comment hello and then probably not watch the whole thing.
And then Larry, agrees with you. The heart spark was not there. I'm just going to pull that up real quick.
I
Yep.
agree.
And that was in regards to your talk about the War for Cybertron trilogy. So let's do some news, and then let's talk about voice acting and the impressions I guess it left on us, because I've been sharing some Frank Welker stuff all week long because he's been sharing some archival stuff. So I'm really excited to get into that. So let's do the
Absolutely.
news and let's talk.
So first of all, I'm just gonna share with y'all BotCon 25 right around the corner, June 12th through the 15th. My man Derek, he'll probably pop in here in just a little bit. He's
Yeah, Derek's the best.
one of the coordinators of it, but that's coming up. I've never been to BotCon. The closest I could have gone was when it was in Nashville, and that was before I got into the whole community, and so I didn't know much about it. But speaking of voice actors, they do have quite a few that are going to be there. So there's kind of the lineup from the Transformers,
Yep.
as well as, I mean, Michael Bell, he's amazing. And
Oh
then of
man,
course Transformers One. I
he's
remember at
so
TF Con,
awesome.
you were like a
Oh man, I was
idiot.
giddy as like because I interviewed him a year before, and then I met him, shook his hand, and Michael, while Dart Ravage was taking pictures, like I paid for one picture, he took like 20. Like my whole interaction is stop motion, so that was really cool.
That's
That's
great.
awesome. The thing they have announced one exclusive right now. They got some more that are coming, but of course, YOLO Park. They've got a Sound Blaster and Glyph is going to be their exclusive there. So if you are going, let us know in the chat if you're going. If you're not and you're near the Indiana area and you want a fun place to have fun, that would be the thing to do. Next, I just want to talk about Gary. We just got an update from Gary. He took his last chemo treatment on May the 27th. And
Yep.
so kicking cancer in the butt. So continue to get well, Gary. He's also a legend, which I
Yeah.
wish they would have casted him in, the Rise of the Beast, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, get well, Gary.
We're all
Any
pulling for
thoughts?
Gary. Gary's the
Yeah.
best.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll see him back on the convention circuit here in a little bit. But news
Hopefully.
and products that we've got here, and we're going to start out with good old mainline Hasbro, Takara, Tomy.
What could this be?
Well, first of all, we have the announcement of Transformers Devastation Studio Sideswipe and Wheeljack that'll be coming. So this is just a concept art. We do not have a prototype yet on that. I am kind of
that's the show cells.
Yep.
Like not the show, but the actual game. I think those are like game sprites,
correct.
Yep.
pretty much. So,
Yep. So
you think it's
hopefully
going
they
to be a
look like
new mold or Kingdom repaint?
probably Kingdom repaint. That would be my guess.
But I mean,
I don't
Optimus
know.
was a new mold.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Hasbro.
Yeah, but it was a pretty bad mold.
Yeah, it was terrible. But
correct. I will probably pick up that Sideswipe though.
Yeah,
like
the Sideswipe
you.
well, I kind of have to pick up the Sideswipe because I have the Lambro shelf.
That's
but there's never going to be a Sunstreaker to go with it, unless they have concept art of that. So I don't know, but definitely not picking up the Wheeljack. I mean,
yeah, me neither on that. Next, we've got just this guy right here. Good old. Any
That's,
thoughts on
concept art, right? For one of the Transformers. I forget her name.
was it
but,
Widowmaker?
Yes, that's it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's very clean for a movie design. It's more comprehensive than normal, so I'm okay with this one.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on movie design Transformers? Do you have any, Raz?
I don't collect Bavers, and I will always say that the car modes are always really good on the Bavers figures, but the robot modes to me it's not appealing. So, and I don't even know who. Like, I haven't watched the movies in a long time, so I don't know.
Yeah, this
She
was a
never
character
made
that
it to
did
the
not
screen.
appear. Yeah, she never made it.
Yeah.
So which is interesting that they're doing some of this concept art. I know they did that with what was it, Sunstreaker?
Oh yeah, God,
Yeah.
that's a smooth figure.
Yeah, on that. So, and then we got all these announcements from Takara, which was stealing Hasbro's thunder a little bit. So, of course, Cracker, and Reflector is coming. We also have, let's see here, Hauler, MPG Hauler. That's going to be coming too as well. I could care less.
Oh, come on, it's Hauler, man. That's going to be so cool.
Animated version of Missing Link, Cliff Jumper, and Bumblebee.
That's
if
too
you're
soon.
yeah, it is. That's a cash grab right there. And then these guys that showed up. So let's go into the one we want to really talk about, and that is we finally get a view of all of the Constructicons.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
it. That's why everybody's
so
here.
that's why everyone is here is to see every Constructicon. I am collecting this Devastator set. I haven't opened them yet. I've heard mixed reviews on them, but we'll see what happens because I do not have a mainline Devastator or like the Jin Bao or any of that. So this will probably be the one that I do kind of open, and I have a soft spot for Devastator. So Raz, what
Okay,
about
well,
you, man?
if you don't have Jinbao, I would say skip this and get Jinbao.
I'll probably
It
stick with Jin
You
Bao
get
too.
the oversized Jinbao with the upgrade kit, the 2.0. I don't know if like the first upgrade kit was with drills, which
Yeah,
if you want to do that one scene, that's cool. But the 2.0 upgrade kit with the oversized Jinbao, it's the best Devastator out there.
yeah. I thought about getting Mecha Invasion because I heard that's more mainline size too as well. But Billy, what about you? What are your thoughts?
So I'm not collecting this set. I'm tapped out on my mainline collecting, but I think it's well done. I think it looks good. It's cohesive, and the combined mode is gorgeous. It's about time. So I'm going to put that.
Yeah. And so it's the year of the combiners. And then this is the one that everyone wants to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Studio
Okay.
Series 86 Megatron. What can be said that hasn't been said already?
I'm
I'll let
bringing
you go first,
Strider up
Raz.
because Strider's excited. So I just want to let that be known. Let's let
Okay.
Raz start this off, though. What are your thoughts, bud?
Okay. This is the hill I'm going to die on. This should be a Age of the Prime release, not a Studio Series 86 release. I don't have any problem with Megatron being portrayed as a tank. I have a problem with G1 Megatron being portrayed as a tank. So the whole point of Studio Series 86 or Studio Series as a whole is screen accuracy. So this Megatron is not screen accurate. Therefore, he should be. It's a great figure, and if anybody wants to collect it, I'm happy for you. But it should be a Age of the Prime release or a Generation Select release, not a Studio Series release.
I think
That I
because
will die on that hill.
many years ago, bad things happened, and that's why we'll probably never get a Hasbro
Yeah, but we did get a
G1.
Optimus Megatron at Optimus gun at Toys R Us last year.
We did.
But I mean, it's not a replica of a Luger,
Yeah.
which is really that's the thing. Make him a gun and slightly different than a Luger. Because I mean, in the show, he wasn't really a Luger. Like the toy was a Luger, but in the show, sometimes he was a Luger, sometimes he was something else. Like at one point, yeah, Optimus is holding him with two hands. Make that one. So anyway, oh hey Princeton, good to see you, man.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He's on
So
my chat. I'll just say hello, man.
I will probably pick him up just because I don't have as many Megatrons as everybody else does. Which is weird because Megatron's one of my favorite characters too as well. But I do love how they hid the tank treads
Yeah, I
on
was
it.
going to
Yeah.
I mean, from
jump
a
in.
design standpoint, this is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, the engineering on this is really good, except for the tank turret thingy, like the way it
Yeah.
turns. But I mean, the transformation to hide the parts, A1. Good job.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Megatron Hasbro's pulled out. Oh shit, Derek, what's up, bud? Derek's here. I got to stop what I'm saying just to say hello to the man. We just plugged BotCon for you, brother. Hope all is well. This is the best Hasbro's put out Megatron wise in decades. It's beautiful in robot mode. I don't mind the whole tank thing because none of my figures are ever posed in their alt mode. Everything that I buy stays in robot mode after the one initial transformation. That's it. But yeah, it's so clean. The back, the side, everything's there, and all you see are a little bit of tank treads on the back of his his calves.
Yeah.
This is very acceptable for me, and for the 86 collectors, I think they'll be very happy with it. We got Primal Parodies here. We just gave a update on Gary's completion of his chemo
Yep.
treatments. Obviously, we got that information from you, so thank you for keeping us so updated on Gary. I hope all is well. Please give him our best.
Actually, I'll
And
extend an invitation to Candice. I'd like to interview you. So
She's
whenever you
great.
can, we'll spend an hour together, and I'll ask you about your art, your relationship with the different voice actor, the work you do when you go to conventions with Gary. I'm curious about that. So if you're interested, just let me know.
She is great. She
She
is amazing
is.
on that.
so
But yeah, I mean,
we
I can see Age of the Primes, G1 Studio Series 86. I can see that, but yeah,
Princeton
but
made a good point here. He says it's not 86, it's the Studio Series Devastation Gamer Edition.
You know what?
I mean,
That
that's nail on the head.
Because now I think they got rid of the 86. Because if you look at the Constructicon, it's Studio Series more than meets the eyes now.
Yeah,
yeah,
You
it's
know,
the Studio Series now.
yeah, and I think
Zane,
so
Zane agrees with you, Raz.
thank you.
yeah. There we go. Two points for Raz on that.
Now,
So, but
Jimmy, we need your opinion. We keep cutting you
I'm
off.
telling you, I am good. I'm all in. I'm gonna get this. I would tend to agree too. If we're going by G1, then yes, it's not a G1. It's G1 ish in robot mode. But when you look at the tank, then you're going to G2, right?
Well,
But I mean, like you said, I keep my stuff in robot mode a lot of times. And Raz, you made a great point by saying that YOLO Park is going to be your G1
Yeah.
Megatron, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's and also it comes with, because a lot of people are saying, why didn't they include the mace in there? In the movie, he didn't have the mace.
thank you.
Correct. Yep.
So that's why YOLO Park is better, because I have the sword, I have the mace, I have the key to Vector Sigma, I have the helmet to control clone Optimus. So yeah, YOLO Park definitely. If you want a good screen accurate, get the new one though. Get the new G1 style with the d- light gray finish and everything. So yeah,
Yeah, the difference doesn't have the die cast, but it's still a really
yeah.
nice one on
So
that. So
we've got fire going on in the
we
chat. Just give me
do
1 second. So real
absolutely.
quick, Candace says she would love to work with you, Raz. She also
Cool.
said she was just on the phone with Gary, and he is getting better. New York Hunter saying hello. Hope we're all doing well, and a big hello to you,
Salute.
Raz.
Hey,
Again,
Ken, that's my roommate from Baltimore.
That's you had a lot of roommates in Baltimore.
Yeah,
and then
and we all snored, like all of us.
That's funny.
that's rough. Candace definitely wants to work that out with you, so you guys are gonna have to meet up,
Perfect.
chat or something.
Yeah, I'll send her a message on Instagram.
Great. New York Hunter says he looks more like Earthrise Megs, and I never really liked that version. Candace says they look great. Boom, and then everybody's saying hello, and that's how we're gonna leave that. Let's get
There we
going.
go. Now the Wild Kingdom, we got the new. I think it's the Wave 3 figures. So I don't know if you've been watching this Japanese YouTube
No.
anime thing. I still have yet to see the toys here. I know that you're gonna have to import them, but we got a Nemesis Prime and Shadow Megatron.
Yep.
I think they look cool if they ever if they're at the right price. That, like you said, Billy, this is something fun to do with your kids on
Fun to
that.
do with
So,
the kids. I'm gonna pass on those though, like Gen 1 colors, and I'm done. That's how I'm gonna put it.
A snorchestra. I like that,
that's an
Candace.
orchestra.
That's funny.
Nice.
Um,
Well, let's
Felix
go.
says he's got the key to your heart,
Oh,
Raz.
come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay, man.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's great.
AS Toys. So coming around with their KO. So not only did they go KO Studio Series 86, Optimus Prime, but then they said, hey, let's make all the rest of them. So these are the rest of the primes that they're going to be coming out with, basically recoloring their mold that they did. Did anyone get the AS Toys? I don't know. I
I
haven't heard
did
much
not,
about it.
because I already have the Studio Series
Yeah.
86, so I didn't feel the need. If I was to get one, like maybe I'll get the Nemesis, but I think I might get the Shattered Glass because I don't have a Shattered Glass anything. But then I don't want to get it because I don't really want to start liking Shattered Glass. So I think I'll skip it. Definitely, I hate when they portray Ultra Magnus as just the white Optimus
I know,
Prime.
right?
That should be marketed as the Return of Optimus Prime Part 2 Optimus Prime, because he had like that coating on him.
Yep. I,
Uh,
I fully agree with you.
so that's, but I every time that they do, oh, this is Ultra Magnus, I'm like, no, it isn't. But that's just me.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it.
I'm not
I'll
going to
probably
get
go with
any of
Shattered
them.
and Nemesis. I'll probably go with Shattered and Nemesis, but
Yeah.
depends if the price is right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, on
They're only like
AliExpress, it's
25
40
bucks.
bucks Canadian. So yeah, so it's
Yeah,
a
oh,
like,
really good deal.
they're a good price, but honestly, my 86 Prime is already in storage. So
Okay, that's something that I could never do. I know a lot of people have some of their collection in storage. If you have to downsize because you're moving and stuff like that, that's cool. But to me, if it's not on the shelf, I'm selling it. I
uh,
I yeah.
so my space is limited in my home, and right now my collection is just my legends, and for me, the Magic Square Optimus Prime is the
Yeah.
only Optimus Prime I need. Like,
that's a
period.
great
Best
one.
best Optimus Prime ever made.
That is a great one. Uh,
Derek's coming in here saying that Dreamwave Comics did a run with the White Ultra Magnus, and that's where this all started. I know the whole run. I didn't like the idea of it. I'm with Raz. Ultra Magnus needs his armor.
that's it. That's
He
it.
does. He needs
Hey, they
the
should
armor.
name that Megatron the Skybound Megatron. Y'all saw that
So
that one screenshot of Starscream holding him like a gun, but he's still a tank, right? In that Skybound.
Yeah,
You know,
that's. I think that's. Oh man, that's the Volume 3 Transformers compendium, like not compendium, but like 13 to 18 or something. Got delayed. Mine got delayed, so I can't enjoy that.
no, no.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
and then
DevCount pointed out, is anyone's stores not selling leader figures or commanders? All of my local stores, I'm in New Jersey, DevCon, um, nothing above a leader class is on the shelf. My stores have not been
same,
selling commander class or Titans, period.
okay,
same.
I have
Strider
info
knows
about
this.
that. If you let's say Walmart, if you have like as most city, they have like 4 or 5 WalMarts. We have like 6 here. Uh,
Yep.
there's going to be one Walmart who's going to have leader and commanders, maybe Titans. That's but Toys R Us. Okay, I'm in Canada, so we still have Toys
I
R Us.
know.
Everything is
Jealous.
overpriced at Toys R Us by at least $10 per class. So let's say for a deluxe, you guys, it's $24
Yep.
roughly. Okay.
Yep.
So if I get it at my store, DJC Collectible, like my sponsor, it's going to be $34, which is normal conversion rate. But if I go to Toys R Us for the same one, it's $44.99
That's crazy.
for a deluxe.
Yeah.
So yeah. So but they will carry the big Titan class and the commanders and everything. Uh you can find them in stores. But if you have like Walmart, there's going to be one store that's going to hold all the big class, and then every other store in the area will have up to leader. And I think sometimes it's up to Voyager. So that I don't know why they do it like that. It's just why not have like one commander in each store or something? But anyway,
Yeah, our
They've
Walmart has
been horrible with their distribution. There's no
correct.
other way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah, our Walmart has doesn't have leaders. Target has leaders, but the only leader they have is that one. Oh gosh, which one is it? The Devastator from
Oh,
the
the
Bayverse.
giant red piece of garbage.
Yeah, it's just shelf warming right now.
Yeah, it's shelf
Okay.
warming my area too.
So King Toys. And so King Toys, as y'all know, they have their Predaking, their Volcanicus and stuff. Well, they decided that they're going to do 10 centimeter or 3.75-inch legend scale like they did with their Predaking, but this is their new scaling that they have. So they have 4 different sizes for their bots, which can make things way confusing on that. I get it that maybe there's a size for everybody. The smaller that they get, the more deformed they start looking. But very stylized. I applaud Kang Toys for going a different direction on their stuff and making it very, very stylized, very
Oh
unique.
yeah.
But they're the only one that I'm probably picking up. Believe it or not, Billy, I'm going to pick up one of their Insecticons because it does look pretty cool. I'm going to probably pick.
Those massive metal disasters,
They
you're gonna bleed, brother.
I know I'm gonna bleed, but yeah, King Toys I passed up because yeah I don't want to pay the deductible to get stitches on that. So Raz, have you messed with any King Toys or seen them or
No, it at when I started collecting, they had the masterpiece size Predaking coming out, and
and
it looked amazing. Cato reviewed it and poked most of his fingers on what was yeah, well, most of them they were like very sharp angles. But the price were at the time I
crazy?
considered ridiculous, but now I'm like, yeah, I probably would buy them, but I don't know. I
Yep.
have the Jinbao one, so no, I
Yeah,
don't think
they're
I'll. But I
pointy.
mean, they're really good looking.
They are. They're sexy, but they're pointy.
Yeah.
That Billy, would you pick up any of the Legend Scale one?
I would not. I applaud Kang Toys for what they do because they are so original, and they found a way to work in this market. They're just too stylized for what I collect. Nothing against it at all. Like I said, like that, man, they took a ball and they ran with it, and it looks like it's going very well for them. It's just not my thing, and that's how I'm gonna leave it.
Yep. So speaking of Predaking, QQ Toys, which we know them because they make a lot of upgrade kits and stuff, but they are making their own bots, and so they got a Scramble City, Predaking, and Devastator coming, and this is their Predaking here. So there's the prototype. These are the prototypes that are out, but QQ Toys going more again legend scale with their
I think
stuff
these are core. Are
or
these the
core. No,
legends?
yeah, core class. Yes. But
I
the
don't know,
unique
man.
the unique thing about them is like their Devastator, their Predaking, you can mix and match. And so you can have that whole Scramble City kind of look with it too as well. So if you're into core, this probably is for you. If you're not, then you may want to pass them up.
Raz, what do you think, bud?
I don't know. I'm looking at the robot modes, and I like the Predaking himself looks pretty good, but I these
The
are just
robots look cheap.
prototypes, right?
Yeah,
So
they are
yeah,
prototypes. Yeah,
but the I don't know. They look blocky a little bit.
they
Yeah,
do
well,
look
they're going to
very
be. I mean,
blocky.
they're core. They're smaller than legends. Um,
Yeah.
First, my son and I do a lot of core collecting. Like we play with the core figures all the time with the Titans. So I'm definitely going to get this set. I'm
Okay.
all in.
Nice. And then Robot Toys, which is Billy's new favorite Legend Scale
I,
company.
I'm I'm loving these guys.
Oh yeah. So there's their Waspinator that they
Yeah,
do at
masterpiece,
Universal.
Waspinator. I'm so excited.
Masterpiece, masterpiece scaled, and then this fella here too as well
Yeah,
has
I
been
already
announced.
pre-ordered him. He's good to go.
Yeah.
Legend scale tarantulas. Let's do it.
So
Now,
they do both Legend and Masterpiece.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Now, are
and
you
they're
Beast Wars fan, Raz?
Beast Wars brought me back to basically I was more of a Masters of the Universe guy back
yep.
in the 80s. And then when I started watching Beast Wars, I found it interesting. But then when they started dropping hints of G1, unknowingly, the producers didn't really know it. And then eventually, I like the Beast Wars concept of how it was built by the producer going to internet forums and getting information, and Benson Yee, who's still active in the
Love
Transformers
Ben.
communities these days.
Yeah, Ben
The
lives down
guy's
the
a
road from me.
legend in this community. So I think it's really cool that they did the Beast Wars, and then by watching it, I really realized I preferred Transformers because I never went back to Masters of the Universe. Yeah, like I gave away my toys to the local
Really?
daycare when we moved, and I still punch myself today about that because I should have kept those toys. But
Are they all vintage original?
oh yeah, yeah, like I had a huge collection. And then I just gave it away because there wasn't any room in the moving truck,
Oh wow.
basically. So yeah, but I do love Beast Wars. It brought me back, and I think the fact that they had a small cast with better stories, um, I think that's what really made it good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. That smaller cast made it magical. The
Yeah,
character development, there's nothing like it. There never will be again.
yeah.
Beast Wars was the greatest thing that happened to Transformers.
absolutely. So
And
Billy, you got both of these pre-ordered?
I have Tarantulas pre-ordered. I do not have Waspinator pre-ordered because I'm out of the Masterpiece game.
So you wait until they shrink
Um,
them.
I'm sure they'll shrink him because they're going to be upsizing Tarantulas to the Masterpiece scale. So I'm sure we'll get a Waspinator and a Scorponok down the road.
Yeah.
And I don't mind waiting because I just finished reviewing the Tigatron, and it is just incredible. It's incredible. It's so
Yeah.
much fun. I wish I bought two. I don't even know why. I just wish I bought more.
The only character from Beast Wars, well, no, I'm missing a couple. I don't have a Cheetor because I'm waiting and I'm hoping that they do a Transmetal too, like a mainline new one,
Yep.
like they
A
did
big
with,
M.
they did Tiger Hawk and Silverbolt and all these guys. So I'm really hoping to get that, but I'm like missing Depth Charge, Rampage, and that's about it. Maybe a good Transmutate because the Generation Select one was crap. I have it, but it's my son's figure.
Transart made one, Masterpiece scale, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it should have been the red line. Do we
Should have
remember the
been.
red line?
I
You
do. I
know
actually
that.
reviewed a test shot of the Armada Starscream.
Yeah. They should have. It's such a missed opportunity. Red should have been way bigger than that with non-transforming figures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Hasbro dropped the ball there.
Oh yeah,
Beyond.
absolutely, absolutely.
But speaking of Optimus Prime, Magic Square, they are re-releasing their Light of Peace in the more animation colors. Here it is, of course, in its truck mode. This is the Masterpiece scaled version. And then, of course, here he is standing in all of his glory. I have the first release of it. I think the only difference is the colors are just a little bit different, but
Yep.
doesn't make me want to double dip on it. But still, if you don't have and you want a definitive Masterpiece Optimus Prime, this one is the one to go with.
Yeah, I'll
So,
agree with you 100%. Fantastic figure. I have the just previously released version, and it is stellar. It still doesn't top the Legends one for me, but it is. If you're an MP collector, this is all you need. Period.
that's it.
Nice.
So let's move on. We got a few more things. Guardian Model Studio. So speaking of Bayverse, they released their prototype images of their Optimus Prime, and that truck mode is super clean. And if this is the way it's going to look, it's going to be hell to transform. I
Yeah.
can tell you
Yeah,
that already. It's going to
too much
be
work.
it's going to be a lot of work. Now, don't get me wrong. The bot mode looks great. The alt mode looks great, but is it worth the frustration?
Do you have
Probably
3 hours
not.
to kill?
Yeah,
It's like
that's the
the
thing.
what
I
the
just want to
studio
give a
sells.
shout out to Big M. Hey man, he's one of
Yeah,
my biggest supporters. So always
Big
good to
Well,
M's
see him.
wonderful, man. Big M's here every week. There's nothing I could say bad about Big M.
yeah.
Period.
Of the
Great
Bayverse
guy.
Primes, though, this is my favorite. Believe it or not.
This is my favorite design from the Bayverse Primes. This is the third movie, right?
Correct.
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have a
Yeah,
favorite Bavers figure, so
Well, it's like saying, top of the turd pile, right? So anyway,
yeah.
um,
it was so funny. I was watching Age of Extinction with my son today, and he was like, "Dad, which ones are good guys and which ones are bad guys? They all look the same." And
There
I
you
said,
go.
"Yeah,
you're like,
that's
exactly.
that's it. He nailed it right on the head.
That's
That's
it.
all. So what's up with Laser Cat
You
Toys?
know me, I love this company.
Yeah,
And here's their Bruticus. It's a chibi style legend scale. I know Billy is not going to get this. I will be
It
getting
looks
it, but there
good.
they are.
they
Alt
look
form,
great. They look fun as hell. But
they
what am I going to
do.
do with them?
I mean, you just have your own little Japanese anime, you stop motion or whatever. I don't care. But yeah, they're going to be cute and they're going to be awesome. And I'm going to get them to go along with that Predaking and as well as the Volcanicus on that. But Raz, what do you think of this Bruticus?
You know what, I started collecting chibi style figures through Magic Square when
Mhm.
they partnered with
Yes.
Mukudo,
Yep.
and I got all the ladies. Well, no, I got RC and Chromia. I skipped on Nightbird,
Yeah.
whatever, the ninja one, and then they started doing Optimus repaints,
Yeah.
and I wish they would do more. So I won't get this, but I think it looks really good.
Yeah. Have you seen their Predaking?
Yeah, I did. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's like I love the idea of having like that big head and small
Yeah.
body, and it still works for a transformation. That's really cool.
That's it. That's it.
So
Yeah,
real quick,
absolutely.
Raz, New York Hunter wants to said, did you say the third volume of Skybound TF is not out yet? Because he has it in his Kindle.
Yeah, what I of course Kindle you can get it because, but I can't read a book or a comic. I have all the G1 comics on PDF format on my computer, and I can't for the life of me just looking at my computer reading a comic book, can't do it.
What?
So I get the volume 3. It's delayed. For me, I got a shipping notice from Amazon saying that it was delayed and they'll get back to me. So I'm guessing they're gonna wait for a reissue or something because I'm not canceling that. But I have volume 3 of Void Rivals, and then I have volume 4 and of Transformers and Void Rivals all on pre-orders. But it's like July, November, and October. I think
Yeah.
that they're coming up. So
I like the hard
yeah,
copies too. I am a hard copy guy because when Y3K happens, I'm gonna be set. So
I'm
anyway,
hard
yes,
copy with all my comic books.
that's it.
That's just it.
That's it. But let's move on. We got just a few more blockies. This is Transformers adjacent, of course. Super Sentai. They are releasing their Power Rangers, or Super Sentai if you're in Japan. But blockies has been great. Now their Transformer stuff has been really, really good. Their
yep.
what is it? I forgot what the name of the ones that they did before. Not that they don't do well in the US. They do really great in Japan. Now they've released Sesame Street, but then they're releasing this, and then of course Marvel they're releasing as well.
Yep.
So so Power Rangers there. Let me just fly through these. And now for something completely different. I love doing this because Billy never knows what's coming up.
I like the
Don't
surprises.
worry, it's not bad. So first of all, uh, it's not a Transformer. But it is an Airwolf. It is an Airwolf collectible, and that's the
Uh,
prototype model of it right now.
and I need a link to that.
I
Holy
will try
moly.
to send it to you. I forgot what the name of the company is,
Oh, I
but
love it.
yes. Now
Love it.
this, if they were going to do a collaboration, we need an Airwolf Transformers
I want
collaboration.
an Airwolf Transformer. I don't care if they make it Titan class. I'm dropping the coin. Like, let's go.
I'll be honest, I've never watched Airwolf in my
What?
life because in
Oh,
Canada we had one channel that would translate a lot of US show.
yeah.
Um, and Airwolf played too late when I was a kid. So I'm not into Airwolf. Like Knight Rider, that I watched because it was for some reason a daytime show. Like after school, we had Knight Rider. But yeah, Airwolf, it looks amazing. But
I'm
I,
sorry you missed out, Raz.
Airwolf is pure 80s cheese at its best, but
yeah,
it's so good. It's so
you had
good. The
the
music, Ernest
invincible
Borgnine.
helicopter, you had the car, and then you had that bike at some point, like that you couldn't.
It was great. It
Yeah,
was
It
great.
I'm
was
sure it
great.
was great. You know
Yeah.
what? I would love a Sunstreaker repaint in. I don't know if you guys remember a show. I think it only lasted once. He like Ottoman, who was
Yes.
like the first man made by computer, and he like yeah, a head and then neck down. It's just like some CGI suit, like kind of Tronish. I would love to have a Lamborghini Sunstreaker in those colors.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Derek coming in clutch with the name of
I'm
the company.
thanking him right now.
There you go. So, and then next, if you're a ball cap kind of person, which I am, I love hats. We got Overlord that is making, or Overload is making these Transformers hats here, and we've
Oh,
got
those
the
are
first
great.
four. Bumblebee, Megatron, Starscream, and Optimus Prime. There's the
Yeah.
front, and then the bottom side. This is just of the Decepticon and the Autobot one. So I'm gonna get one at least. They are kind of pricey. They're about $30. But
Ugh.
I definitely want to get one. Just which one do I get? That's the thing. It's going to be a tie between Megatron or Optimus Prime, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
But the thing is that, like, okay, that's one thing about those novelty items, collectibles and stuff. They
mhm.
they look great, but either when they did the Lego crossover, when they did the Jada Toys metal figs, when they
Yep,
did the nano metal figs, and it's watch at least no the nano metal figs. You had a huge cast over 3 series, but most of the collectible stuff like that, it's always the 6 main characters, right? It's
yep,
Megatron, Optimus, Starscream, Bumblebee, and then you get Soundwave and Grimlock.
yep.
So if you like novelty items, you have a collection of these 6 characters over and over and over. Like
That
I
is the
have the
truth.
brickheads from Lego. You know, it's they just did the Optimus and the Bumblebee. So you have this, but on the side you have, well, I might as well just pull it. You have the truck. You know, so they don't transform, but it's really cool to have.
Yeah,
But the I have this guy here, the light up figures. You press the chest, and his eyes glow and everything. But it's always these same characters, like all the time.
Because those are what
So
sells.
at some point, it's just like, all right, now make a Sunstreaker hat, I'll buy it. But it's always those 6. Like
yeah.
even the Monopoly game, it's those 6 characters.
Yep.
So
They are the
uh,
ones that sell. That is the truth, though.
I think
Uh,
I don't think they're the one that sells. I think the CEO or whoever's in charge of marketing just knows these characters because that's all that's been used.
that is true. That's true.
So he's
Now,
like, oh yeah, that Bumblewave guy.
there was a beer stein company. I think I showed it like several episodes ago. They do have there's hope in the world, Raz. A Rodimus hot rod beer stein that's coming
Yeah.
out.
That
So
was like 2
Okay,
shows
so
back.
something different.
yeah. Now then, this is the one last thing that's something different. If you're a watch collector,
Oh,
uh,
which character are we getting?
it's
See?
actually there's not
Again.
yeah. This it's but what's weird about it is if you know which watch style you want, it's $60. But it's a blind box. If you want just a blind box, it's $50. And so it's like a blind box watches. If you're a watch guy, the only watch I have is my Apple Watch. I never wore a watch before that, but I mean they look cool, but I'm not really a watch guy. So if you're a watch
Yeah, my
person, you might
wife
like it.
bought me a watch like, I don't know, 5, 6 Christmas ago. Those models that when you move they charge.
Yeah. Is it
I
dead?
never put it ever. Like I think the era of watch is over because
Oh
we
yeah.
have phones.
Yeah. I agree. Unless your watch can do a bunch of other things besides tell time,
Yeah.
it's probably
In a
gonna be that.
blind box, that's my trick. Like for blockies, that's what I do. I go on AliExpress instead. And they actually, when I get my figure, they open the package to make sure which figure is in there, so that they can sell you. Okay, you want a side swipe? Get the side swipe. You want that? So I have 3 blockies, and they're 2 side swipe, the original and the gold one, and I have the Sunstreaker. And I'm not getting that many blockies, but when I get my blind box, I opened the bag and the bag's already open because they made sure that it was a side swipe and then they mailed it to me. So I think on AliExpress you'll find those watches and you'll be able to select the one you want. It's just going to cost you $10-$20 more.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Good to know. I just buy the whole box and go from there.
For blockies, yeah, a lot of people. I did order a box at some point and then I canceled them. I don't have the room for all
Yeah.
that, and because I wanted to, like, they had a Devastator
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But then it was like they have 2 scales now. They have the small one and then the really small one.
Yeah.
So
The
and I
Defender.
think the
Defender
Devastator
scale.
is like the really small ones. I'm like, nah, screw it.
Yeah.
I don't want
The
to.
put together. It looks really good though, but yeah, in
Yeah.
order to get it put together, you have to go outside of the United States for that because they're not going to release those parts here in the US because of copyright issues for some weird
Yep.
reason. So, but that is all the news. So let's talk about
Derek,
voice
Derek
stuff.
says I kill watches and phones, so I won't be getting them.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
I'm in the
funny.
same boat, bud.
But let's talk voice actors, all that good stuff. Now, Raz, I know
Yeah,
you've interviewed a few. I know Billy, you're working on getting some of them on our show too as
absolutely.
well.
How's
But
that
you,
going?
it's
Very well.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a few. We're just trying to get our schedules to sync up. So
Okay. I send them my way after that. Like, cause I love to, what I liked. Oh, Rodimus Primal just popped in my chat.
what's up,
yep.
Rodimus?
What's up, bud? And yes, blockies do rule, Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole, voice acting. I mean, because I'm not a voice actor, because I'm not an artist, I don't have an agent, I don't have a publicist. It's really hard to get in touch with these people. Um, I've been lucky with my first interview, which was with John Machida Jr., which is, I think, still my more popular interview.
Sounds
And
wonderful.
he commented on my spotlight of him. And it kind of opened the door because he said that after 40 years of doing interviews, and shows and everything, he said finally somebody got my story right, which was the
Nice.
biggest compliment I could have received.
That's huge.
Exactly. And it's like, oh my god, it's wow. I knew I spent a lot of time, like, a my spotlights will, while they used to require 60 hours including the
Oh
editing to
wow.
put together. Now I can narrow it down by maybe a third now. If Because my editing process is now, I've mastered, what I do. I don't spend enough time researching new stuff to do. That's on me. But to stick pictures with words, it's not that complicated. So it was just refining my process. But I love doing I used to love, I will say, because I haven't done some in a while, just because of time. And I have a kid who's 7 years old, and he does take a lot of attention. Like, it's a whole lot. So dealing with that, I just don't have the energy at night to do that. Like, I'd have to take a day off work, be alone at home, and then just do my research, do my recording, and then after that, during the week, I can do the editing. But
That-
I've been extremely busy. Mostly my fault. I don't know if you guys have those moments where you decide that you're gonna be a better person and you're gonna do more around the house and stuff like that. So I've been saying to myself for years, I'm gonna do more. But this March, I said, you know what? I'm going to do more this year. Every weekend, I'm going to do something for the house, something, a little bit of renovation, just paint or anything. And I've been doing it, which
Yep.
means I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but, it pays off. So
yeah. No worries.
it does.
But
So,
that brings up a great point, especially I know we're going to talk voice actors, but a lot of people don't realize, especially people who are content creators, we have other jobs and we have
oh,
other
yeah.
lives and stuff, and so it's a tough thing to balance, is to
Yep.
go, hey, put out content regularly while also making sure I spend time with my kids, spend time with my wife, get the house done, make money in my real job,
Yeah.
and things like that. So so I get it. I mean, sometimes you get to a point, it's like I don't want to put out anything.
Well, that's the
It
thing. Like, when I do tour reviews, I'll wait until I have like a stack of 4 or 5 figures, then I'll power shoot in a night, or
Yep.
and I'll do everything, and then I'll edit throughout the week. Like, I have stuff right now ready to go until the end of mid June. And that's another thing. I'm actually gonna run out of stuff until something comes up, because I'm just it. I don't have the budget, or I don't want to spend all that money on toys. And my goal is to have a season 1 to season 3 cast.
Mine
That's
too.
I don't like. I have one headmaster, and it's Fort Max right here, and that's it. I don't like. I don't really need a Scorponok. I'm not gonna get it. I don't care about the headmasters. Like it's just not something I'm going to collect. So I'm with everything since War for Cybertron up until now. I'm getting and now I'm getting an Arbalest or a Kranix. We're getting a Kranix
Yep.
next year.
Yeah.
I've been dying for a Kranix. I want an Arbalest, but I'm really hoping for a Nancy out of that. I need a Nancy. So that's what I like to collect, like obscure characters from season 1 to 3 in the movie. I'm still debating in getting the Toy Hack Sectomata playback, which
Oh,
from that
really?
one episode I could get another strong arm, and Toy Hacks did a playback. I'm still thinking of doing it. So, and Rodimus Primal's right. Like, it's very tough to time match everything. Like, he has 2 kids, and it's putting the content, and it's also the risk versus reward. Not the risk, but the time versus reward.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's able to get 5,000 subscriber in a little bit over a year,
A
right,
lot of
Yep.
Jimmy?
blackmail. A lot of blackmail on OnlyFans.
Yeah,
So
exactly. But I mean, I've been at it for 4.5 years, and I'm at like 1.24
Yep.
subscribers. So I'm not gonna. I don't have dreams of hitting 5,000 in any near future.
yeah.
I get it,
But
brother.
I'm gonna get patches where I'm like, screw this, I'm done. Like it
Yeah.
happens, and unfortunately, it happens more and more where I'm feeling like that. Well, I'm like, it's not worth it. But
Yeah.
then I do enjoy doing the reviews, and I think that's why I haven't done a spotlight in a long time. The last one was Tony J, who was the voice of Megabyte and the Elder God in Legacy of Kane. Great voice. It was a fun spotlight to shoot because we did radio in South Africa and stuff like just I learn a lot doing these things about the actors, so it's really cool.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, no, I get it. But I think one of the things to think about too, as well, is like think about like, your inspirations. If it wasn't for Rodimus Primal and Patriot Prime and Kato and those, you may not have ever started
no,
on that.
absolutely not. The
If it
stigma of being a 40-year-old collector was real, and I've told Rodimus Primal many times if it started with him telling me like through his videos and his live stream that it was okay to be a 40-year-old collector. Even though he wasn't 40, that's what I got out of that. But and I've thanked him for it because you know we chat a little bit. I sent him figures, because I appreciate what he was doing. Then I realized he was for a while, or maybe still do like living off that, which to me was like, pull mine, from doing YouTube. Wow. So it
yeah.
was just so that's you go in deep. I went deep, got a program, paid the license, learned it. I use VideoPad. It's super basic stuff. So yeah, now you're 40, but I'm almost 50 now. So anyway, but
Almost.
So
Gosh.
I don't know if you guys have noticed on Facebook. I mentioned it privately, but Frank Welker has been sharing um, all of these like Glory Day reels from the real Ghostbusters cartoon. And in each of these clips, he also does interviews like of himself. He shares interviews about voice acting and why he does it and things like that. Have you guys watched that at all? Have you seen
I
those?
didn't know. I think I saw one, but I haven't had a chance to look at him. And
He's
he's
like the
the
king.
yeah, exactly. Like it goes Mel Blanc, Frank Welker, David Kay. In amount of work and voice
Yeah.
range and variety. Like I told David, I mean, you're the third generation Mel Blanc,
Yeah.
and but there's a lot of actors I don't know that do like Jim Cummings. I
Jim
just
Cummings is great.
realized, that because that's the thing. I know Transformers voice actor. I know very little outside of that realm. But I'm learning more and more now. And there's a website called behindthevoiceactor.com, and that it's a gold mine if you want to find out who you spent your time with when you were a kid, because that's, I think, for doing Spotlight, that's the greatest gift, is that I realized, oh man, like Paul Iding, who, oh, it's because of the accent and the natural sexual charisma. Thank you very
That's it.
much, Zane Bono. Um, but yeah, it's just the Paul Iding. I'm going through a list of actors. I'm like, who's this guy? He voiced Perceptor. Started researching. Absolutely fell in love with the man, and then did the realized, holy crap! I spent, like, he voiced a lot of Diablo and Diablo 2. I spent 40 hours with him, in those games, playing like it. Diablo was a job almost. Like I played relentlessly the first one, and
Yeah.
he's narrating all those things. And I even made a short not long ago. Like, I was bored, just popped in the short where he's narrating, recorded it, and then the short was called "Is there anything better than having something narrated by Paul Iding?" Shared it. He was really happy about it, because I mean, we've chatted, not in a long time, but when I interviewed him after that, and then we didn't spoke acting. We spoke about his military career for like 30 minutes, maybe more, because he was in charge of the Glee Club, or, well, the I not Glee Club, but I mean, turned infantry, music thing. And we just spoke about that. And he's after that, I met him at TFCon Toronto. Spent a lot of time with him, and that's the I call him a friend now. So it's amazing. It's like, and then you have Candace, who's friend with the whole cast of Beast Wars. But she's living my dream. It's really fun. So yeah, I do love the the people who do the voice, because hands down they're the happiest people on earth.
Yeah, there's
Any
some of the
job, any you look at pictures of Paul Iding when he was 20, you look at pictures of him now, and that same twinkle, that spark of hope of a young man, he still has it. Okay. And you don't see that in a lot of other jobs. Most
yeah,
people retire at 65, they're burnt out, they don't want to do anything, they spend their money on traveling to try to get a feeling of, I did this job for 60 years for some reason, and some of them are just still not happy about it. So
Yeah.
no, I think voice actor, they really cornered the way to be happy. It's to
so
create and get paid for it.
absolutely. Voice actors, I feel the same way. You always can hear the excitement, you can see the excitement, you can feel the excitement in their voices. But nowadays, and I'm just going to jump around to my thoughts with voice acting, you know, I firmly believe that voice actors should be doing the voice acting. I'm not a big fan when an A-list celebrity comes in to voice
Yeah,
act
no,
characters,
I don't like that.
because it's a different training. It's a different
Hmm.
type of acting, right? And these A-list actors, they're set a certain way to do this on screen, and they just don't get as lost in the character the way like somebody would if they were doing like Tiny Toon Adventures. If
Yeah,
you're cast
exactly.
for Tiny Toons, you're gonna lose it and you're gonna be wild the whole time. And I just don't think they bring that same energy. How do you guys feel about the current state? Let's call it the current state of animated films and animated products, where we're getting more A-listers and not these people that truly honed their skills as voice actors.
See, yeah, there's a couple of things. First, I'll quote Denzel Washington in an interview saying, "You don't learn to act making movies and TV shows. You learn it doing theater." Now, voice actors, except to my knowledge, like the people I know, except for Corey Burton, every actor did stage. Paul Iding, Dan Gilvezan, Michael Bell, they all did theater first. So these people are actor first and then voice actor second. And Michael Bell goes back to that line all like when during interviews and stuff like that. He'll always say, "You call me a voice actor, but I'm an actor first." Because if you can't act, even if you have a great voice, it's not gonna work. And Jake Fushi,
Agree.
like it's. goes back to that. Um, so I don't like there's working actors and there's celebrity voice actor, which I hate to say, but Transformers started that. The 1986 movie was full of celebrity guest voice actors.
Absolutely, it was.
Orson Welles, Leonard Nimoy, Eric Idle, all those
Stack.
people were not voice actors. They were celebrity voice actor. And because of the age of the movie, we loved them for it and everything. Robert Stack, it it worked at the time. But then I don't know if that's the trigger point. I'm thinking it might be. But then after that, every movie, more and
Yeah.
more in the 90s, and then after that in the year 2000, and so on and so forth. Now it's all celebrity voice actors in blockbuster movies. I don't like it. I mean, even for Transformers 1, they did a great performance, but did we need Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime? No, he did a great job, but we did not need him as, an Optimus Prime. But if you want to make something different, then you want to go with something that's not G1, which I understand why they don't go and rehire the G1 actor. But why a celebrity? You could have had Tara Strong voice Alita 1 instead of Scarlett Johansson, and that would have been freaking amazing. She would have done a
Yep.
great job. Jim Cummings, just get these people. Clancy Brown as
Yeah.
Megatron would be freaking awesome.
James Arnold Taylor, all these guys.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all those people that built the business are now being pushed to the side. I've interviewed a lot of actors, and that's one of my questions to them. Some of them are upset, some not upset, but they do mind. Some of them don't mind it because they can find work elsewhere. But it's not the same thing as acting out Spider-Man than narrating an audiobook. It's not this, it makes money. There's residual, there's everything, but it's not the same thing. So I wish that they would step away from celebrity voice actor, especially The Rock, like voicing that
Everybody.
Superman movie, like the Super Dog or whatever with Kevin
Yep.
Hart. I'm like, we
Crypto.
did not need that duo in there. It's just so. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that.
Cool. I'm on the same page as you, brother.
Yeah,
I
no,
like to get the opinions.
I would agree with that too as well. I mean, you can see why they do it is because they're like, oh, this big name is going to draw these people into the
Yeah.
here. But then on
But
the
it
flip
didn't work.
side, is if you got voice actors, your budget would be less, and you'd
Yeah.
still probably
Well,
make the same amount of money,
Exactly.
right? So it's a
If I had a more, because I'm in Quebec, right? So there's a lot of theaters, but most people will be French people going to watch English movies. But I thought about doing a series where I stand in front of a theater going for the big movie and interviewing kids, saying how excited are you that this guy you don't know, like just name the actor, is voicing Stitch, and just to have the kids going, who's that? I don't know. I don't care. And I would have a series of just kids saying that they don't care about who's voicing their characters, you know? So I thought that would have been really funny. Almost as much as my other idea to do a quiz at TFCon. And when people get the answer right, I gave them a deodorant stick. That, it's like, yeah, you win. Here's a stick.
if they didn't get it right, you're like, you tried. Here's a stick.
Yeah.
And
so
even if
really quick, we've got a request, and I put it up here. Zane has a
Sure.
request for you. Raz.
Okay, you know how long I've been waiting for this, and you just make sure people know what happened here today. It's perfect for the Forge.
Well,
Please.
it's Gambit's last line.
Oh, okay. Ah, man. All right. All right. No, I can't. I can't
Very
do a good gambit. I can do a thick Quebec accent. Like what people expect for Quebec. But Gambit is just like in X Men. the original show and the X-Men 97. That guy really nailed it. Like the
Yeah.
um, New
He did
Orleans
great. He did a
accent.
great job.
Yeah, but then it's yeah, no, I can't. Sorry, man. I remember the name, but I'm not an actor, so you know.
We've got some action going on. So autocorrect primer, Derek, a great friend of mine. He says big name actors give them credit and easy money. Screen Actor Guild credit and easy money, and that's why they do it. And then Derek jumps in and states, lack of participation in theater releases for the Transformers films. They used A-listers to drive the ticket sales. And I agree that they did not promote the film properly. They did not promote the film that was
No,
on the screen. No way at all.
no,
And then Derek jumped in once again and stated, that's not how it works. The movie companies actually get more money by how many top billing actors they get to voice in the projects. Now, Derek works for Netflix. Derek works for a couple different film companies out there. So I always take his word to heart. That's how I'm going to put that. So, Derek, thank you very much. It's a shame that it's come to that, though. That's how I'm going to
yeah.
put it
Well, now
because,
everything about this is going to become moot very quickly because they're going to go with AI actors now,
that's exactly
and
how I was going to jump
that's
into this.
it's unfortunate. Like I have one of my friend, he's one of my best friend. He doesn't care one bit who voices the characters on his show. Doesn't care about voice actors. He just mind that the character feels real. And if an AI can feel real, then he's going to be happy with that. And you know what? I respect his point, but I resent him for it. But it's just I think AI is going to ruin everything when it comes to movies and TV shows, because now let's have a movie with John Wayne. Now you could, you
Yep,
know
you absolutely could.
and eventually people are going to go on their AI movie app and said, just type in, I want to see a movie with this actor about this subject, make it a triple cross type of movie with plots and twists, and then click generate, and here's your movie. It's made specifically for you. That's appealing, so people are going to go with AI. And like, I don't mind, like, when I see Jason, Patriot Prime and Kato and Bert and Larkin, all, they're doing those AI pictures and AI music. That's fine, because it's content that you consume on YouTube mostly for free, unless you subscribe to their channel. But I mean, they don't live off that. They're not trying to pass that. They tell you flat out, this is AI. I made that song and I had fun doing it, and that's it. And I think that's the perfect way to use AI. But if somebody tries to make like a whole coloring book made with AI, he didn't put any effort in it, and you could have paid an actor, like Candace, to do a coloring book,
Yep,
and it would have been. But instead, now companies are gonna, people, I I don't know if you guys are big Bill Burr fans.
I like Bill
Yeah.
Burr.
Okay, yeah, I've been listening to his podcast, so now I'm in the mindset of, billionaires don't want to pay you a living wage, and they never wanted to pay you a living wage, and if they could, they wouldn't. There's rules and regulation that prevents them from not giving you, the living wage that you deserve. I think that it's going to be the same thing with AI. Studios are not going to have to pay people. They're just going to have an AI person make the content, and they're going to be happy with that. I think what's going to save actors are going to be independent movies, low budget B movies and stuff like that. So yeah, exactly what Zainbo just said. How do you feel about studios able to use AI? I think it's not a good thing. It
No,
Because AI will never create, it will only regurgitate what it already knows, what it
yep,
already sees. So, but exactly, like, I don't know, hold on, bring back iconic voice actor who are no longer with us, like Chris Collins, which was the second name for Chris Latta, if you guys didn't know. But he's right. I mean, why not bring Chris Latta? Which I love, and to this day, my most popular voice actor spotlight. Nobody ever topped my Chris Latta stuff. Um, so why not bring him? But then Frank Totoro does a freaking good Starscream,
Yes, he
and he's
does.
an amazing actor. You guys saw the 40th anniversary read through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I went to theater to see it. I had two cunts in the back laughing the whole time. I wanted to punch them, but I'm a decent guy. But I went with two, well, friends. Yeah, one friend and one guy I didn't know, but we were all in the Ottawa area, so we went. We had a great time, and watching Totoro voice and act like and mimic the mimicry, he's good.
He's great.
Why would I replace that with an AI of Lada?
I couldn't
It,
agree more. I'm actually mad that Frank didn't get the part for one, and they went with Steve Buscemi.
yeah,
Like I find it mind blowing that he didn't get a call.
and I love Buscemi, like
I do too, but
love
that's
him.
not Starscream.
But yeah,
That's all.
exactly. I mean, he did a good job, but it's Frank could have done it. And I don't think Frank is the same price as Frank Welker,
No,
so that would have been cheaper
Frank's
for the studio.
affordable, and by God, he's one of the greatest people on this planet.
I should reach out to him. I think I'm friend on Facebook or something. I'll have I have to dare more. That's
He's
what
been
Michael
very
Bell
busy.
told me. Just go there, and if you don't ask, you don't get a response. That's how I got Greg Berger, and the only one I can't get is Dan Gilvezan. If you're a friend with Dan Gilvezan, Billy, just let me
I'm
know.
not.
Okay,
I'm not.
because this guy, he reads every single invitation I sent him and never replies. I'm like, I see that you read my stuff. God
So
damn it, just say
he just
no.
he just may
So
be busy. Like I have
I know
friends
they're busy.
that I've been friends with for over a decade, and sometimes they're just so busy that it'll see red, and then 2 months later it'll be like, hey bro, I'm so sorry, I was at these conventions for these weekends, I was
Yeah,
recording for
exactly.
this time, and it's just the way it goes. There's some really great ones out there though. Primal Parodies, Boo on AI. Yeah, I
Exactly.
really hope it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, we are blessed with YouTube, and we can all kind of just do our own thing and just support each other.
Exactly. Like I used AI to create, what was it? I use a website called Canva to do my thumbnails, and they had an AI tool, and I couldn't find what I was looking for in the free tools, or I don't want to go on Getty Image to get
Yeah.
pay for pictures of other people. So I used AI to create my toy hacks background with like it's a empty garage for paint jobs. I thought it was clever. So I used AI for that. But I would never, print that and try to sell it at a convention or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't try to make money off that because I didn't create it. I just told the program what I needed.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm a like a drawing artist. I'm a recording artist. I've done 2 albums. I've toured the country. I am so anti AI for physical art, recorded art, that I just
Yeah.
can't. I will do whatever I can to not have to work
See,
with it.
AI can be good when, like my boss, she does a lot of research and then she'll have to produce like a paper and then she's going to use an AI to do the annotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
That's
perfect sense.
great, you know.
Yeah.
And a
Things to
lot.
make
Go
yeah,
ahead,
things
Jimmy.
to make life easier. Like, again, like if it's writing an email and you go, I want to make sure it sounds professional. Just to kind of
Exactly.
just help with that or whatever it may be, or reminding you have a dinner date coming up in, whatever, those type of things
Exactly.
I think are great. But when it comes taking the job of somebody like a graphic designer or a voice actor or a movie actor or a 3D renderer or whatever it may be, then that's kind of like, I don't think so.
You
Yeah,
know, even the porn industry's gonna suffer from it because now you can have AI girlfriends doing what the hell you want. It's I think it's going a little too far now, but I think like what's her name? Lindsay Russo, who voiced Elita One in the War for Cybertron. She's a good activist on AI. Like she posts a lot on trying to get regulations from SAG-AFTRA regarding the use of AI and stuff like that. I had actors that I followed on Facebook that posted that they had to leave Facebook because Facebook wasn't putting in any protection, and potentially allowing AI to use their voice. I don't
Yep.
know if you guys remember Red versus Blue from Rooster Teeth.
Yep.
Yes.
They closed down the studio 3 4 years back now, which they're the perfect example of going too big too fast. They went so huge, but they had an actress who was doing Sheila the Tank, You'll Marry Cruz. And I followed her on Facebook for years. And eventually she just said, yeah, I can't stay on Facebook because there's no protection for voice actor. Boom, she was gone. I'm like, all right, this sucks. Now I don't know what the hell she's doing these days. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
terrible.
it is. But I mean, there's other actors who are still on it. I'm friend with Christopher Lambert from
That's cool.
Highlander.
Yep.
That's
Nice.
it's we don't chat. He posts and I comment and stuff like that. So,
He did
but
great in Tarzan too.
it's and I checked if he never did any voice acting, so can't really do a spotlight on him. But I would have loved to do that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, but I'll do Clancy. Same franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's my take. Like, I don't want to sound like a grumpy old man that doesn't enjoy progress, but like a lot of artists posted, I want AI to do my chores so I can do my art,
Yeah.
not the other way around. So I think Candace shared that quote at some point.
Well,
So
Candace is a tremendous artist. Like
yeah,
her
she's
work,
really good, really
fantastic.
good.
And I'd much rather spend money on one of her prints than an AI generated print any day.
Yeah,
Which
You
is
know?
crazy because you see a lot of that in conventions now.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be allowed. If I ran a convention, there'd be absolutely zero tolerance on AI art. There's
yeah,
people that are busting their humps. You know, like it's not easy to draw well in the first place, and then to be able to draw good enough to have prints that are worthy of like a sale, like that's a level of talent most people don't have, and you're taking that talent away from them by a cheap program.
yeah. So that's it's I what my fear is that in 40 years there's not going to be a second Raziel Kane that's going to be able to sing the song of the voice actors of the year 2025 because maybe there's going to be less, or it's going to be a completely forgotten medium. It's just
Listen,
going to be AI stuff. But I mean,
40 years from now it's going to be Wally.
yeah, I haven't watched Wally actually. I've never watched that movie, but I
Oh,
know what
watch
you
it.
mean because I've
You're
seen
looking.
yeah, but it's too old now. But yeah, no, it's just the I understand the concept. But I mean, you guys remember the movie Gamer
Yes.
with my friend loves
Gerard
that
Butler.
movie. I freaking hate it because now you had people controlling, other people in a video game, and then you see all these disgustingly like those human being that gave up on being clean and being proper, and they're just playing video games in their underwear, dipping waffles in chocolate sauce and like slobbering eating them while playing a game. Like, it's just that to me, that's what society's gonna end up like. So I
So
there's a whole lot more chances that we end up in a Terminator type scenario than a Star Trek type scenario as a
well, with the
society.
way things are going, we can only be so lucky. Come on.
Yeah. Dude,
Derek over here says that's what happens when you use tablets and people don't know how to use pencils and inks. I mean, that's the truth, man. I was trained in inks, in chalks, in so many different mediums, charcoals, and that's just the way it's got to be. And then Zane is stating, we're taking a fragile first step into the future where AI is really going to change life as we know it if laws are not implemented correctly to protect humanity.
yeah.
Listen, there have been AI programs that were written to try to better things for us. They started doing their own thing. And when they tried to shut it down, they blackmailed the people that were trying to shut it down. Like, we are not ready for AI. We have not set the proper limits. Derek, good night. We're wrapping up in a few minutes as
Yeah.
well. You guys know me. I'm up 4:30 a.m. I'm going to be going to bed shortly myself. But Derek, thank you for always joining us. Have a good night.
Yeah. One thing that before we go, I would love if we change the term, the wording, because it's not AI. You guys played Mass Effect?
Hmm.
Many,
It's
many moons
VI.
ago.
It's virtual intelligence, and they explained, like a character would pop up and they say, "Oh, I am a VI for the Citadel station," and like what a VI is like. I look intelligent, but I just repeat what I'm programmed to do. You know, so I think we haven't achieved AI, and we have VI, and VI is a problem because of the way it's being used. But the moment that we actually have AI, there was some philosopher that mentioned that once we have achieved an AI that can learn by itself, that can create by itself, how long will it take? Because that's going to learn a lot faster than we do, and that's
Ever.
exactly, and it's going to take a fraction of a second for it to realize that we're the anthill that he needs to move away to build this driveway. So I think once we have an actual AI, it's done. It won't need us anymore. It's just gonna go. All right. Well, the human race is gone. So Skynet is really real compared to it's getting there. So yeah,
Skynet's fully possible. It's on its way.
yeah,
Real quick, Candace states, "Love you guys. Uh, think about all the comic artists and those who make the movie posters, graphic designers, musicians, voice actors, etc. AI can't be allowed to dominate human creativity." We
exactly.
totally agree. Like, you know, done with it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But you were about
Well,
to
we're
say,
about to turn into pumpkins here, my friends. So, but Raz, if you want to wrap it up, anything you want everyone else to know, also, if you want to just plug your channel again, anything you want to do, whatever it may be, before we wrap it up.
I don't have anything. Like I have reviews for next weekend ready
See, I'm
already.
I'm you're like 5 steps ahead. I'm like, what am I gonna film for Tuesday?
Oh yeah, no, I do. Well, that's the thing. I don't like, Deluxe Baldwin will have reviews 3 times a week, and it's all new figures he gets all the time because he gets everything, and we love him for it. But
That's it.
I don't get that many, so I'm like, I space, and then if I get something like this, I really wanted to talk about this, so I just bumped another review to 3 weeks from now. So I don't have a problem.
Show that baby off again.
Yeah, yeah, he's so freaking awesome, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to. I can't wait to do mine.
yeah,
Oh, and
he's
you have a
great.
paint scratch on my pinky because I did that extra shelf or that shelf extension. So yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Watch my spotlight, watch my review. Leave a comment. I love interacting with people with comments, unless you're an idiot. And yeah, because I mean, there's some people that you can't save them all, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But
Still
yeah,
engagement.
yeah, it's exactly as long as they leave a comment. I don't have to reply to boost it, but it helps. And I always do premieres on my reviews. Very rarely will I do a straight video with. I like to premiere it, chat with the people. That's where I met Princeton Phalanx and Big M, and a whole MCDJ CDC. Like, there's a lot of people that come back, just to chat. I don't think they even watch the review. They just chat with me for 15 minutes, and then
I need
we're
to do that sometime.
I would love to. Sorry, Jimmy.
I was about to say I need to do that sometime. That's a feature I do not take advantage of.
Yeah, I would love to do it, but 3 kids, a ridiculously full-time job, and
yeah.
nearly 20 years of marriage. I don't have the time to do it. I would love to, but I don't have the time. Quentin, thank you for dropping in, and we are doing
Ooh,
well.
sorry about that.
We are
I'm getting
going.
tired too.
What?
I'm getting tired too. I just yawned. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
That's
all good.
okay. That's
We're
all
going to
right.
be wrapping it up. Next week we've got an awesome show, not planned, but there's going to be
It
there'll be
will
something
be.
good.
It will be.
It will be wonderful. Raz, thank you so much for joining us, man. It was a pleasure getting to know you a little bit better, getting to know where you started from. The trifecta of reviewers that you named are wonderful people. They are influences on all of us. And we couldn't agree with more than what you said with your statements in regards to them. As for the voice acting, we agree as well. We hope things work out for the future of the industry. We will see where it goes. But thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. It was great.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. So as we get ready to sign off, please forgive us as we do our